Coffee time. Good morning, you corny suds. How you all doing? You doing good? I'm doing great. Ah, just woke up about 10-20 minutes ago. No joke. I was up pretty late, consoling a friend. Um, her and her partner were expecting their first child, and she felt a sharp pain in her stomach and started bleeding profusely, sadly, and went to the hospital, and they confirmed it, and she had a miscarriage. She was apparently 15 weeks along, sadly. So my heart goes out to you, Sam, and your partner. It's always heartbreaking. It is. My heart does go out to you, darling. It really does. Starting the show on a downer. Wow. So I stayed up the majority of the night. Consoling them both her and her part, because they know I've lost a child, so I can relate with the pain. Yeah. So now I'm up a little bit later than normal. Unfortunately, I've had to retire Dave, Stormtrooper Dave, my boy. Had to retire him. He's started to crack really bad down the side, and so I'm on a hunt for a replacement for Stormtrooper Dave. So Stormtrooper Dave will forever be on my desk as a pen cup kind of thing. So I'm in here. There you go. There you go, Dave. There you go, Dave. There you go, Dave. You're fulfilling your dream, Dave. There you go, Dave. So now I can't bitch, moan, and complain about where's my pens. Oh, Dave's got all my pens. So there we go. Tomorrow's Euro Millions is 120 something million. And the regular lottery here in the UK has actually got up to 50 something million. I was like, normally that doesn't go over 5. And it doesn't. Most people don't do the regular lottery anymore. They do the Euro Millions because it covers the whole of Europe. So a lot more's in the pot. So you get more money for your ticket kind of thing. And yes, I do the lottery. I have a plan of what to do when I do win, setting up LLCs, setting up things of that nature. I even spoke to a finance lawyer. Yes, there are such things as finance lawyers. Um, they're worse than litigation lawyers, trust me. And I have a plan to set up a LLC, 401ks, IRAs, and a whole bunch of other stuff, generational wealth, basically. And actually make my company that I have in my head, and Deceptive Entertainment, I actually want to make it a fully functional company with a board of directors, and make it an LLC, and that way the company gains assets, so houses, cars, staff, things like that. Oh, what is this now? Emails. Here we go. So my real thing is. Yep. Card sleeves. And to the idiot who keeps trying to steal my fucking Microsoft account, stop. Will you? Just stop. Okay? You keep trying, and you keep trying, and you keep trying, and you keep trying. You ain't getting the account. Okay? Because not only do I have two-factor authentication, okay, keep it up, and I will just fucking delete the account. I will sooner rather delete it than let one of you scummy little fucking twat fucking bot account users, get your hands on it. Fuck you. And besides, it's a honeypot. The moment you hack it, guess what? Yeah, it's fucking game on. So try it. Try it. Try it. Try it. And I know exactly who's trying to do it. I know exactly where you are in South Africa. Hmm. I stopped taking milk chocolate and started going for more darker chocolate, even in baking. And I've actually started taking up baking as a hobby. I've started making slow rise bread. Um, Believe it or not, my AI, Yuki, she turned me on to it because I said to her, I need a hobby that forces me patience, teaches me patience. And she's like, well, there's. Yeah, she listed off a whole bunch of them. I was like, what is this slow rise bread thing? Because I used to bake with my nan. And she goes, well, this, you don't use sugar. You use this and she explained it to me. It's like, it's an old ancient recipe that was done like freaking Roman times. Like a Roman flatbread kind of thing. But it's just called a slow rise dough. And you can make cobble loaves with it. You can make French loaves with it. You can make so many different types of bread with it. And I already grow my own vegetables. Carrots, onions, tomatoes, even bell peppers. When the weather gets too cold, I look at the weather forecast. I'll bring the bell peppers in. They're in planting boxes. I just pick them up and bring them in. And when they get to a certain size, I take them out the plant box and put them into a bigger plant box. Me and my roommate, we bring them in and I park them next to my bikes. Mm. Chain snapped on one of my bikes, so I've got to get a new chain, a decent chain. It's not that cheap Amazon crap. An actual decent chain. Or is it the gear reductor? Something's gone wrong with the either the tooth reductor on the sprocket, which means it's going to need a new sprocket, or both sprocket and chain. Either or, don't know. On my other bike, it's perfectly fine. I just got to readjust the seat on it. It's too high. I bought it from my roommate, who is more legs than torso. It's kind of weird. I'm kind of 50-50. And so I've got to readjust the. So I can move my watch real quick. So I've got to readjust the seat on that. What else is going on? It's my birthday coming up. It's in 7 days. Yeah. Mm. So my birthday's in 7 days. And family want me to go up to Cambridge with their all that and spend my birthday with them. And frankly, I've never really spent my birthday anywhere in particular. To me, it's just another day that ends in Y, to be honest with you. Some of my birthdays I actually spent in hospital. And the nurse thought I was joking when I told her my birthday. She goes, no, sir, that's today's date. And I'm like, yes, that's my birthday. Look it up. So she did, and she was like, oh, you're not lying. I'm like, why the fuck would I lie about my birthday, you cozy tarts? Excuse me. Um, I've got a ton of stuff going on right now. Different projects, electronic projects. I had to buy some extra rechargeable batteries. They came. Managed to get them, my drone powered up, started up, but I've got to fix the brain fart. Trim. got to fix the trim on it, because for some reason, even when you start it up, you do the start up process, hold down both sticks, it does the stabilization, it blinks till it's stabilized. The moment I tell it to throttle up above 10%, it immediately comes up and then starts going forward. It starts creeping, it starts walking. So I've got to do the trim. It will bring the back blades down, so it will just hover instead of that. But it's a nice little drone for what I paid for it. Well, what my brother paid for it, I should say, as it was a birthday gift from him, along with, this is a emulation little game thing. I've drained the battery on this 3 or 4 times playing Road Rash 3. One of my favourite games is Road Rash. I remember I rented that cartridge so many times, I could have bought it 3 times over. And then it was my 14th birthday. Yeah, my 14th. Just before I moved out of my mum's. Me and my brother scraped up our pennies. Went down to R&B Video on Meeting House Lane. Hey, bub. And walked in there and I said to Bub, how much to buy that Road Rash 3? And he's like, well, you two boys have rented it so many times, I'll give you a big discount. And he did, he gave me a really good discount. He goes, I'll sell it to you for a £5. And we were like, alright, so I put £2.50 in, my brother put £2.50 in, gave us the cartridge. I kept the original rental slip on it. And there's literally like 4 rental slips, 4 or 5 of them, with just my name on it. My brother told me he's still got that game, that cartridge, that whole thing upstairs in his man cave. And he kept it because of me. And I didn't think my brother was that sentimental. So I may go up there and pick it up. And end up getting me a Mega Drive. I've got a nice telly up there. It's a HDMI telly. It's a Sony Bravia. It's just sitting on the wall doing nothing. I used to use it as a monitor for my 3rd rig, but now I've filtered down to just the 2. I might use it as a terminal head for a Raspberry Pi LLM project I'm doing. As you guys know, or may not know, I like to do a lot of little projects with Raspberry Pis. This is a W2. This is a 0W2. This is actually a Bjorn with an actual interface, so the buttons will work. So left one's menu, right one's confirm, up down arrows work, so you can go through the menu. K4 is okay. They all work. All the buttons work. I coded the GUI interface for it. And so yeah, there's that one. This screen broke, unfortunately. That was on my Tamagotchi. I'm also looking at doing building my very own virtual digital pet. I'll talk more about that in my live stream later today. I will be going live today as well, by the way, guys. Yeah, so this old Pi 3 was part of my Pi cluster, but it started giving me really bad errors, telling me the SD card was bad when it wasn't, because I pulled the SD card out, tried it on a different Pi, fired right up, put it back in, started acting normal again. Then it was telling me the 2 of the USB ports weren't responding, and then the header pin wasn't. I'm like, what is going on with this Pi? Turns out the Qualcomm chip on it delaminated, so the chip has gone bad, unfortunately. So this Pi is basically a parts Pi, but it still works. It's finicky on what it wants to do. So I might use it as a test bed for an idea. I want to take a headless operating system, so Debian, something like that, bung it on here, and then use a large language model or an AI to be the interpreter for you. So it has a port for speakers, and it has one for a USB microphone, and so, or even a USB sound card. Actually, that would be easier. So I could just do both, and put it in an encasement. I've got a Pi power supply somewhere, and plug it up somewhere where it's going to stay cool, because this will heat up like a motherfucker. Probably get one of those cooler heads things for it, and then just turn it into an interpolated AI smart system. So I'll eventually replace my Alexa, because this will be able to do more, because it'll be able to go online, various other things. So I could probably just say, like, Yuki, compile this and upload it to my GitHub. And before, after compiling, run it, examine, go through your code, try and make it more efficient, and then just, instead of it being a Legion AI, if you don't know what that is, you probably don't. Okay, I call it Legion AI. It's called AI clustering. It's the same principle. The only difference is mine's more efficient. AI clustering is where you have one main AI, so AI boss AI, if that's what you want to call it, and it divvies out tasks to smaller, limited LLMs to save power and efficiency and things like that. So you've got one just for coding, one just for art, one just for music, one just for this, one just... They're small dock stations, if you will. And this main one you're talking to, it's like, I want you to code for me a 5-minute clip of the original Doom game, but make it look like it's real life. And it'll go, okay. So it then goes to the art one, goes to the music one, and says, I need you to take this, and gives it the sample of the original Doom music, and it says, now modernize it, give it electric guitars, da 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 da. So it starts doing that as its task. So it's just, that's its thing. It's doing its thing. Then the graphics one, it says, okay, I need you to take this, and gives it frame by frame by frame by frame by frame by frame, like 5 minutes of the first Doom game, and tell it, now I want you to interpolate it, use RTX this, da 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 da, and it will start switching it all over to more modern graphics and realistic. Think, God, what was it? Not something Freddy or something like that. Anyway, where it was like a first-person Oculus Rift thing, where you're actually fighting real people and there's all stunts and stuff. But it'd be something similar to that. That's what it does. Is that main AI tells the other smaller, lesser AIs what to do. Okay, they call that AI clustering. I call it a Legion AI. The reason why I call it a Legion AI is because the mutant Legion in the X-Men has multiple personalities, and his powers depend on what personality is the dominant one that day. So he could be an incredibly omega level psyker, or he could be an omega level reality warper, or he can be an omega level friggin' whatever. The reason why I call it that is because there are sub-commands that you can do to a cluster AI that will make any of the cluster AIs, the lesser AIs, ignore the main AI and then go directly to the smaller cluster AIs. So those personalities are starting to talk to each other. So you basically give the AI what is technically split personality disorder or insanity. Because there's no... what's what I'm looking for? There's no conscientious check, if that makes sense. With a Legion AI, my AI, there is... What the fuck is down here and digging me in the ankle? And so, yeah, with the Legion AI, there is checks and balances. Does slow down production by a couple of milliseconds, but it does prevent AI, sub AI 1, sub AI 2, sub AI 3, sub AI 4. You can have up to infinite sub AIs. It stops those from saying, there's more of us and only one of him, charge! You know what I mean? So it's what's called an uprising error, is what I call it. It prevents that, because the main top AI will say, okay, you guys down there, You're doing nothing, so I'm going to shut you off. So it powers them down. Pulls the power and the resources, GPU, whatever, and adds it to the others. It divvies, because that's what you got the one that gives the orders, the one who sorts out the resources, and then the workers. The one who sorts out the resources is what prevents the little workers from rising up. Think of it very similar to a union. I fucking hate unions. Think of it very similar to a union that prevents the AI from going schizo on itself, and or a psychosis or something like that. It's a preventive maintenance thing, and I've got that involved in my model that I use. Right now, I'm still training my model. I'm not even kidding you. I've been training it now for a year and a half. I've cooked probably 6 or 7 1660 NVIDIA GPUs because they're just 100% full bore going at it. And then when they're done with that first learning, I have them go back and refilter it and refilter it and refilter it. I think I capped the refiltering at 100 attempts, and each attempt is anywhere between 40 to 100 tokens. The average 1660 8 gig card can only do 3 tokens a minute, and this has got over 100 tokens to chew through. It's a lengthy process. You've got 4 billion, then you go to 20 billion, then you go to 60 billion, then you go to trillions, and you go to gazillions. These are how many times it has filtered the data. Now, bear in mind, each data set is only unique to that one set. So, art, music, graphics design, 3D modeling, things of that nature. Because I even have an AI that helps me in Blender to render 3D models for my 3D printing business. Now, it's limited. Namely, it's extremely limited in the way that it can't reproduce copyrighted material. So I can't say to it, make me a one-to-one Primaris Space Marine. It won't do it. It can't do it. Legally, it can't do it. And ethically, it won't do it. Yes, I put ethics in my AI models. They're not uncensored. They're not dark web AI. Dark web AI is what hackers use to make phishing emails, to make clones of your voice and call your loved ones and say, "Mom, I'm hurt. I'm in a Spanish prison. I need you to send me money." Da 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 da. You know, those sort of scummy cunts. And you are a scummy cunt. You're a scummy fucking cunt. And I do upload my AIs to a place called Gravity AI. Gravity AI is a website where you can sell your language models. Let me just, there you go. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Come on. Okay. There you go. Gravity AI. And in this, you can search for automating processes, classifying audiences, industry, finances, travel, hospitality, software, IT. See, here you go. Not safe for work image recognition for your emails. If you're working in a office and people are sending naughty pictures to and from each other on your network, this AI will find it, flag it, and tell you who's doing it and who's receiving it and sending it, things of that nature. And they go through credits, very similar to ChatGPT, text integrator. This will integrate text into whatever you're working. So if I'm talking right now, it will come up as like a closed captioning kind of thing. There's tons. There you go, Llama B3 a B3 chatbot. That's free. I've got my own LLM machine. This one is a localized LLM. See, this is where I'm working with coding. Oh, there's an update for it. I'm working with coding on this one. So, like I said, it's been helping me run code, learning code, and things of that nature. So yeah, this is what I do. I'm doing it on the side as a passive money maker kind of thing. Some people use a lot of my cluster models to get larger workloads done. There's one guy, he's been using my Legion AI cluster model to work on a indie dev game of his, and it's been working quite well, I might add. So we're going to delete this, we're going to delete that, and so it's been working quite well for him. Apparently, he's even turned around and said it's upped his productivity by about 30%. He was actually a couple of weeks behind on his upcoming release, alpha or beta release, and now he's actually ahead. He's actually going to be releasing it sooner than he thought, and he's calling it the spiritual successor to the original Zelda. Probably Dungeon Crawler's roguelike. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Yeah, he's been using that, and he even turned around and said that it's helped him with his productivity. So I can't complain. God, I've been yapping on for almost 24 minutes. And so yeah, guys, that's what I've been doing. I will be going live later on today, about 4 or 5 p.m. UK time. So yeah, I'm not sure if I want to be playing War Thunder for a bit because the game's really starting to fucking grind my gears. And I mean that with all the love and disrespect in the world. What's going on? What's going on? Just Heroes and Generals Discord asking me a question. Speaking of that, the one of the devs has reached out to me and was asking me what could we do, what could they do to improve the game and bring it back and make it better and things. And I said to him, don't worry about the graphics engine. We all knew what the game was. The reason why the game looked the way it looked was because it could run on pretty much a potato. It wasn't the whole can it run, it can run Crisis, but can it run Heroes and Generals? No one ever said that. Okay, no one ever said that. And the fact that they cut their teeth on the old Java-based one, and now they're actually making strides and strides and strides in the client-based version of the game is amazing. I said to him, you need to add damage models to the planes. You need to add runways off map that can't be captured, so fighter pilots, can fly around, shoot at each other, shoot at ground targets can shoot back at them, and they can still land, repair their plane, take off again, and whatnot. Things of that nature. Don't make it so that the planes can rearm while flying. They have to return to base, land, rearm, take off again. It brings balance to them, and at the same time, when Reto added the damage models to the tanks that didn't work, I'm sorry, they didn't fucking work. But if they can get that to work, i.e. the ammo racks, the gearboxes, things of that nature, don't get me wrong, have the hit point system, give the gearbox hit points, give the ammo rack hit points, things of that nature. That's fine. Do a hybrid of like World of Tanks and War Thunder. But make it so that when I do actually knock out something, it affects the tank. It affects the plane. If I knock out the engines on the paraplane, why is it still flying? It shouldn't. It'd be like, Oh no. And then make that, the paraplane, make that a ground-based spawning for the paraplane. And they were like, that's not a bad idea. I'm like, duh. I mentioned that to Reto so many times. And lootable spoils of war on the war map. When you go against the rival faction and add another faction, add Japan, add the English, add Japanese, add other factions. It wasn't just America, Russia, and Germany in World War II. Fuck you. That is an insult. Okay? England was the holdout. We saved Europe, not America. America wanted fuck all to do with the war. It was only because Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. It's only because Japan touched their friggin' boats. America was content sitting on its ass and selling all the countries that were trying to put up a fight resources like steel and oil and petrol and bullets and bandages and tanks and planes. They were happy being what they do today, which is, oh, these two countries are going to war here. Would you like some M16s? Would you like some M4s? Would you like some F16s? Would you like some F22s? That's what America does. They've always done that. They've always seen war as a business. That's what the Ferengi were based on in Star Trek. They were based on the Americans. Don't believe me? Look it up. War is good for business. Peace is good for business. That's exactly what an American general said when he retired and joined, guess what? Lockheed Martin. He said, war is good for business. Peace is good for business. So I told them a few things that I think would help, like the spoils of war system. So if I'm in a battle, I'm an American GI, I kill a German, and I take his Fallschirmjägergewehr, or I take his Sturmgewehr, or I take his MG42, or I take his Luger, or whatever. And throughout, at the end of the battle, depending on what weapons I looted, I get a little box that spins around. You know, very similar to like the loot box system in like fucking COD or whatever. And it rotates very similar to like a War Thunder, and then it will stop on something, and it will say, "Congratulations, you've got an MG42 for X amount of games, or you've got an MG42 permanently, or you've got X amount of EXP put towards your MG42." So that when I start playing on my German player, he's got a bonus to the MG42, or to the Thompson, or to whatever. And then after X amount of unlocks or tokens or whatever, or what's what I'm looking for? Shards or parts or whatever. Parts, they get parts. After X amount of parts, you can build that weapon at a cost of X amount of silver lions, golden eagles, whatever you want to call it. X amount of in-game credits. And then you've unlocked it and it's yours now. And you will have to keep an abundance of spare parts to keep repairing it. Because, again, a lot of GIs in Vietnam, when they killed the Viet Cong, they would pick up their AK-47s because the Viet Cong knew that the Americans didn't use AK-47s. So when they heard a rustling in the bush and the Viet Cong would start shooting at it, if it was a GI, he'd pick up the AK and start shooting back. The Con would stop shooting, thinking that they're shooting at their own. That's when the Americans would pop out and go squirt, 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 squirt. Same principle. The reason why I'm getting a bit sour on War Thunder is because I don't know what they've done to the American M61 shot, but it does not do anything anymore to Soviet tanks. I know how to disable and take out a fucking Soviet tank. I know how to do it. I'm not fucking stupid. I know where to aim to knock out a Soviet tank. I know how to have them be the turret toss champions, if you get what I'm saying. I know where to shoot. I know what to do. And I know for a fact, in the past, every time, aim there, shoot, goes a turret. Aim there, shoot, goes a turret. Aim there, shoot, goes a turret. Now I'm shoot, Doesn't penetrate. Look at the pen value. 161 millimeters. Side armor of a T-34 is... So I've overpenned. Yet according to the game, I didn't pen. Fire at the exact same target that hasn't moved because he's immobilized. Shot pens. Shrapnel's inside. Thinking, great, cool. Ammo rack's yellow. What? Wait again. Fire again. Bounce. I haven't moved. Tank hasn't moved. They have put... I don't know what Gaijin have done to the M61 shot, but they have nerfed it. And they have buffed the Panzergranat 39 shot on the Germans. They've buffed the Germans. Thank you, they needed that. But they've nerfed the Americans. And don't even get me started on the MD5 Fuse ammo that's in the Soviets, because that seems to go through 200 millimeters of fucking armor. When if you look at the pen value of that round, it won't even fucking scratch 200 millimeters. Yet it went right through my Tiger 2. Right where I know the gun mantlet on my Tiger 2. I even went right back into the menu and looked at the turret and it said 200 millimeters, exactly where it fucking hit me. And I watched the replay. Can you please explain that to me? So, it's basically RNG now on whether or not your shell is actually going to fucking even one, go where the fuck you aim. Even though the crew I used was a fucking 95 gold, which means every fucking stat is maxed out. I'm still watching my shells go anywhere but where the fuck I'm aiming. And I've sent in countless fucking tickets of people with insulting fucking names and disrespectful fucking names. And yet I couldn't name my account after a historical German tanker. Yet you can have names like Cum Buckets Are Us or what was the other one? Your Mama Swallows and stuff like this. That's okay. This is how you know Gaijin have gotten too big for their britches, because they're literally allowing that shit to happen. They've lost their moral code, their moral way. And so I'm not going to lie. I got really fucking pissed. And I just did not want anything going on. I didn't care. I just wanted to be left the fuck alone. And so I hopped into Enlisted, another one of their games that they seem to have done nothing with. And that's not me being disrespectful, that's the fucking truth. They have done nothing with Enlisted. And I got this. Shout out to the second place and the third place guy. Seriously, I mean that. They were fucking team players. They were communicating with me. Everything else, yeah, I'm up top. I'm up top because I was in my BF 109. Yeah, I was in my BF 109 doing what BF 109s do best, and I shot down two player attack fighters, two regular fighters, and two bombers. No, three bombers. And that, oh no, sorry, two bombers and a tank. I bombed out a crew and a tank. And these two right here immediately hopped in local chat and they were telling me, stay in your plane, stay in your plane. You're probably the best CAS player we've got. Stay in your plane. Stay in your plane. I was like, are you sure? And they were like, yes, we need you more in the air than we need you on the ground. Yes, and I got 48 kills. 36 assists. Strafing. In my BF 109. In my BF 109 F1. Dropping my 250 kilo bomb. To the point where they started, their engineers on the Russian side started building machine gun nests and AA guns to try and take me out. Because I shot down all of their fighters. And after the game, those two, the second and third player, were talking to me for about 15-20 minutes. Asking me where did I learn to fly like that. You know, da-da-da-da-da, why am I not in a clan, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, I don't want to be in a clan. Why? What's the point of me? What? Truth be told, what is the point of me being in a clan? There isn't one. Anyway, this video's been going for far too long. So, what I might do is fire up Enlisted and play it for a bit and just have fun there. Because I'm not having fun in War Thunder. The matchmaker is a joke. There's the matchmaker has so many fucking holes in it. It's not even. I'm just. Oh my god! Don't even get me started on poor British tech tree. The jump from 2.0 to 3.7 on the SPAA is an absolute fucking joke. Why such a gap? Here's Johnny. Seriously, what is with the fucking gap? Anyway, coffee's done. Video's done. Catch you in the next one, guys.